Down here in the south, in the teal for KT Roaster. Needs to win 2 in a row. He is.
KT Roaster, Zest.
And his opponent to the top left in the red.
SK Telecom T1 Party.
Big crowd here today.
Yeah.
A lot of SK Telecom fans. And Parting fans.
Parting
that as
fans.
well. Parting, a guy showing a lot of emotions, a lot of emotion at a lot of different times. Garners a lot of fans. He's a very fun guy. Always says hello if he sees us at any time. He knows we speak Korean, but he still just says hello in English.
He's, yeah, he does do that. He's been a little bit cold to me since I once predicted against him in Pro League.
Oh, God.
But,
that happened.
you know,
Were you the only guy who voted against him there?
yeah, I think so, and I think he won too, so it was a bit awkward, but no, we'll just try to put it behind us. So, he won the game. That's what's important, right?
Parting's just trying to forget, man. You traumatize him. He doesn't want to relive those past memories.
I know he really looks up to me, but
he knows how good you are with the Void Ray all ends.
yeah, he knows.
He's seen your play on the ladder.
He's always asking me if I can give him that build order for Protoss versus random Void Railin, where it works against everything, and it's still a secret. Well, he lost, but he's still watching. Son.
Yeah. A small cheer going out for him in the crowd. They have not forgotten.
They have not forgotten. Second gateway goes up for Zest, whereas Parting keeps it singular. And Zest scouts correctly. Parting does not.
Yeah. Zest going with the plural gateways here, not singular.
Yes.
Chrono Boost on the gateway for that Sentry. We've seen this a lot in this series.
Yeah, it's quite nice to actually get that super fast scout.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could use it for other things like I, mentioned earlier, but it seems to be much more scout oriented. It's not a creator Sentry.
Yeah. Building that energy, and a fast Twilight comes down here as soon as he gets that gas.
Oh, they are gonna fight.
Parting's probe a little bit less brave.
Well, the thing is, it's better to live to fight another day. No matter what your motivation is to fight,
Yeah.
You
if you're gonna
die.
fight, make sure you're gonna win.
I guess that's true, but
Don't fight a losing battle.
Yeah, okay, I like that. I like how you phrase that.
It's like Zest trying to do like a second aggressive play against Sue earlier today, and he saw that gigantic army of roaches and hydras, and he was like, I'm not gonna fight this battle. He still died, but
yeah. Well, we have a Dark Shrine actually again for Parting here. Shows a Sentry. This Mothership Core is poised to scout.
that's a sneaky Mothership Core.
It's like Parting knows when Zest is going to do Blink, and then he goes DTs. This has been pretty consistent throughout this series. All right, he's going to see it.
Yeah, he is. That Mothership Core can't attack the other Mothership Core, and now he gets all of that information.
Even if he had enough energy for an overcharge, like he wouldn't have been able to stop it from seeing.
Gonna have to recall out of here.
Yeah, he will.
There he goes. Bye-bye. And here's the hallucination that we were talking about with that Sentry that came out fast. Sees the blink coming up.
If you hallucinate an Oracle fast, too, instead of a Phoenix, it can often be misleading. Not when it gets into the main base, because then when you attack it, even if you make it look like, oh, wow, my Oracle has barely got away, and then it didn't do any damage, when you attack it, you could tell how many hit points it has. But if you see before, like the Oracle flying across on the edge of the map, then it looks like he's actually maybe going Oracles. Okay, so he's going to attack here. Now he has a Robotics going up at home. So Parting is going to have DTs for the defense here, but I don't think offensively his DTs are going to do a whole lot for him. If he loses this Nexus, it's going to be so painful right now.
Yeah, and I think he is. He just can't defend this right now. Too many Stalkers here doing too much damage.
Actually, it looks like he...
Oh!
Whoa!
Eat my own words there. Parting with the warp and the Stalkers, and the pylon of Zest is not close enough, but now he's going to come up the ramp.
Actually playing forward here. Parting has his own blink, but not going to hold his Nexus this time. He canceled the Dark Shrine, I think, by the way, which means that no DTs for the defense. And he doesn't have his own Blink yet. This is starting to look bad.
Blink is not here. The cancel on the Nexus. Parting is way behind. And we get a look at his disappointed face.
Zest might claw his way back into this finals, man.
Looks to be that way. He's got an observer now for vision.
Oh,
Blink's on the high ground. Photon overcharge goes down.
Ooh, Stalkers, and he saves his. Parting can't chase on that. He's getting way too close to the edge there. Woo! That one Stalker is still low. Nice pick off there by Parting. Gonna get this pylon though.
So Parting does best in Stalker versus Stalker battles. He is so good at targeting.
He knows, yeah, he knows exactly not to over target. Doesn't waste any DPS. Just targets what he needs to get done. RorO goes up now. He also realizes himself, you know, hey, well, what if he goes DTs? Because he has Blink. And also, if I can get some Immortals out, that's going to be how I secure this base. This Observer is so clutch, so important. And he can't kill it. Just going to follow his Stalkers. He knows it's there.
Zest also knows he has the Nexus now up way ahead of Parting.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be content to back off here. May pressure, may blink in with 4, as he is actually doing over here right now. Going to get that Observer for the high ground vision and just blink into the back here, maybe try to pick off some probes. Here he comes.
Yeah. Parting is not in his base fast enough. Does pull his probes away very quick and drops the overcharge, so only a few probes going to go down here. Ooh, he's actually going to lose a lot.
Yeah, that's actually not worth it.
Yeah, now he's going for another attack, though, at the natural. Nexus has too many hit points by now. It's at 600. Can't really get anything done there. Doesn't want to stick around.
Loses a lot of Stalkers there. 4 Stalkers for, I think, maybe 3 probes.
Parting also killed the Observer when his Observer popped out.
Wow.
So that's something else of importance. That's a little pop sound you guys heard. The game resources lost at this point are pretty similar, but that faster mining for Zest means he's mined probably, you know, almost as many resources more as he's lost at this point.
And the other thing here is that the Forge is a lot later here for Parting. The +1 for Zest is coming along. It's going to be about halfway done by the time that Forge is even completed for Parting. And he's going to have the +2 a lot faster than Parting does, which is very big.
That's true.
Usually when we see a lot of timing attacks.
Yeah. Those timings come down when you have the faster upgrades. Now, at this point, I mean, it's tough for Parting to actually accomplish anything. If he catches these 2 Stalkers, though, or rather these 2 Immortals, doesn't want to commit there, because if he does and there's anything else nearby that he just hasn't seen, then he loses everything. But getting those sentries is totally okay.
Yeah, basically free. Took a little bit of damage. Now Parting going to come in for the scout, sees the Forge and just how far behind he is. Doesn't really know how far along that +1 is, though.
Yeah. Lewis is like, okay, you're getting +1, I'm getting +1.
Yeah.
Actually, he might think he's better off than he is right now. He might be thinking, oh, you started around the same time as me. Because he didn't get to click on the agency, they already have +1. The next time he scouts, though, he will see that. In fact, with this Observer, he might be able to get that info. I like how he hallucination scouts even though he has an Observer, which might actually lead Zest to believe there's no Observer here. So he can keep it alive and then scout exactly how he pleases a little bit later. It's on the skirt here of the base, so that basically with this Observer he's going to be able to float around and get the information that he wants without being worried about being chased. Probably not going to be noticed this way.
Yeah. Again, this ragtag group of Stalkers out on the map wants the pressure at the front. Sees that there's not many units there. Most of them are back. If he could snipe a Colossus, oh my god, as I say that he goes for it, and he's going to get it. Oh my god.
For 1 Stalker, maybe 2? Nope, just 1. Well, okay, he's going to blink forward here. Using his hit point advantage to try to fight this. He's actually going to lose a lot more than I think he bargained for, though. Oh, wow. Good micro from both. Oh! Stalker micro here, amazing by both. Parting getting the better end, though.
Oh, wow.
Now.
Oh. Wow. Sick micro out of both of those guys. 5 gateways on the way now. Parting. He's got the charge on the way. He has the Templar Archives. He's going to have the +2 a little bit later than Zest. That is the big problem here.
I wonder what he's got planned with this. Like, is he going to use this empowering of all these structures to take a more secure third base, or is he going to try to attack here? Because if he attacks these positions, I don't, even though he killed that Colossus earlier, I don't really know if that favors him here. I think it might be better fitted for him to take a third base. He's down on upgrades. I don't know if he really realizes that.
It's hard to notice that, even if you're in the game. It's much easier for us to see the little loading bars coming across. Those players have no loading bars.
Right. I mean, they have their own, but they don't have their opponents.
Yeah, they can only go by clicking the units.
So unless he keeps popping over this observer and clicking on it, then clicking on his units to see what's happening, there's no way for him to know. He's going to actually lose this obs. So probably didn't get a chance to click on those.
Yeah,
now
great S+2. Finishes for Zest. Killing that pylon actually supply blocks Zest.
So he's going to take that third base. And he has the Warp Prism counter. So when he sees the army of Zest move out to try to punish him, if that happens, he has the Zealot drop to just come into the base and say, hey, turn around, or I'm going to kill all your stuff. He is catching up. No +3 started yet for Zest. He can't quite afford it yet.
Zest making the Warp Prism, and he finishes +2. May want to go for an attack here. Chasing after a Blink Stalker with 2 charged Zealots. With his Observer over here, he's going to get a great scout on this army. But he is actually going to lose it as I say that.
But he sees the composition.
And here comes the Warp Prism into the main.
That's exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Two
cannons, a Stalker, and a Zealot, though.
Yeah, and a Blink forward gets the Warp Prism as well. Probes want to witness.
Probes are like, we could take this chance to get out of here. Oh, whoa, that probe transfer gets caught here. And we're actually going to have a fight that might decide this entire tournament right now. He has 4 Archons here, a group of 4 Zealots come from the right side, and it looks like Zest just has way too much for parting here.
Oh my god, he's actually going to take this to Game 7. Too many Zealots here for the Immortals. They cannot fight against this. GG. Zest makes it back, takes Game 6, and we're going to set 7.
It's time for Frost, man.
Harding is stressed.
He had this series seemingly in the bag, and then time and time again, over and over again, we just see these really cool strategies from Zest. And, I mean, that move out there was really well timed. And had he not had those cannons in the main base, as well as the Zealot and the Stalker, he wouldn't have had enough to defend there, and then he would have been forced in this awkward situation where, yes, he's doing a lot of damage, but Parting could just keep warping in Zealots there, do enough economic damage, and the third base that he's had for much longer, maybe recover, and we have a totally different game. But with those 2 cannons, he defends there. He knows that possibility is there. He doesn't want to get backstabbed by the Warp Prism, and hits a really nice timing with those Colossi. Even after losing the one that we saw early on, he still had enough. And that was a pretty cool Protoss versus Protoss that we just saw there.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very back and forth. So many different things happened in that game. Very complicated, very technical.
Yeah.
Definitely go back and watch that game. I mean, if you're a PvP player, you're probably watching now anyway. And by PvP player, I mean Protoss player. But
yeah, I mean, you're going to play some PvPs on the ladder.
Yeah.
Play some PvPs against your friends. Play some PvPs in Starbo. Well, that's like not going to be too relevant here. But
not really, no.
You know, Protoss versus Protoss here, we're learning a lot. And, you know, I have to say, if you're like in Master League and you're playing a lot of Protoss versus Protoss, some of the things to learn here are definitely going to be making static defenses in your bases, you know, constantly hallucination scout, constantly identify your opponent's composition, his upgrades, and really, like, take some time to look at exactly the maxed out compositions these players are going for, how many Archons they make, how many Zealots they have, because that's one of the biggest challenges of Protoss versus Protoss, because oftentimes, especially on the ladder where, you know, you guys are not on pro gamer level multitasking, you might end up in this situation where you're just like, you're maxed out, he's maxed out, and you're like, what am I supposed to be doing? How should I be harassing here? What sort of compositions I build? That's the easiest thing you can actually improve on, is just be like, okay, what's my max here? Do I have too many Zealots? Do I have too many Archons? And then, of course, the next step is to make sure that you have your third base up at a weight that makes you max the most efficiently, and just kind of think about those things. Because in PvP, when it gets to that that very passive part of the game where neither player is attacking each other, really able to harass, then the little things you can focus on there are just, they're innumerable.
It's funny because as a spectator, we're like, okay, the beginning, there's so many different attacks. You can go for so many different aggressions, defensive maneuvers there. But then once we get to that second nexus and we just sit back, for us, it's like, okay, let's see what they're going to transition to kind of. But when you're in the game, there's actually so many like little different things that you have to focus on and make sure that you're doing, like you said before, the hallucinations, the observers in the base, scout for the upgrades. You have to have your upgrades of your own and decide what you're going to do in that time period. It's so, so important when you're playing that matchup. So here in the set 7, we're going to be on Frost. Zest versus Parting. Zest taking down Parting 2-0 in the round of 8, and Parting is back for his revenge.
Parting wants that revenge so, so bad, man. And this is incredible. I really thought with a 3-1 score that Zest was not going to be able to recover. I thought that this was going to be it for him. He was not going to be able to get a back-to-back GSL finals. But you know what? This entire tournament comes down now to one set. It's on a 4-player map. It's Frost, Zest versus Parting. The GSL Global Tournament Grand Finals will be decided right here, right now. You're watching it live.